Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today, the Duff Dog and I are back working on this LS swap 1985 Chevrolet Dualia project. So in the previous video of this, we showed you guys this thing. We did a little troubleshooting. We got this thing a little bit lower to the ground. We got some new tires. We got some new brakes. We got all kinds of stuff done. We got exhaust on it. We got coolant in it. Did a little wiring. We got some airbags in it. We got an air compressor. We got this thing pretty good. We've had it driving around the yard, and now we got to get this thing so she's ready to go onto the road. So I got a few parts lined up for this thing. I got a few parts on order. We've got a lot of stuff that we're gonna probably find that we gotta do. And then we got a lot of stuff that's probably isn't gonna get done. We're gonna keep plugging away on this project. I really wanna get this thing on the road. I really wanna tow some stuff with it. I wanna enjoy this thing. It's gonna be LS, overdrive, disc brake, power steering, air conditioning, cruise control, stereo amazingness. So, let me show you what we got going on. Hopefully we're gonna get going this week. We got a few parts sitting here. We got a few parts we're waiting on. We are in the middle of a storm. You can't even see the road. The old flag's whipping pretty good. The snow's coming down. They're projecting like 12 to 20 inches of snow. We're not gonna get that. Optimism right here, because if you guys know anybody that's optimistic, it's this guy right here. Optimism. Everything's great, everything's grand. The Titanic is not sinking. The Titanic is definitely not sinking. I'm not gonna have to share a door that we float on, Jack and I, and yeah, everything's great. Duff just wants to be painted like a French girl.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
So that being said, let's take a look at this thing. We're not gonna do a test drive today on this thing because there's gonna be nobody to pick us up because everybody's hunkered down for the big storm. Duff, you don't have to hunker down. We're fine, we got this. We got heat going, and we got a dually, and we got lights, and all the good stuff. I got a dash pad, made in the USA. What a deal. It's red carmine. They call it carmine. I call it red. And we got ourselves a fuel tank for the passenger side. We got ourselves a fuel pump to go in said fuel tank. We're waiting on the sending unit. I got some sway bar bushings because I don't like the blue ones on here, and we only had bought 2 of the 4. So we got black ones, not because we're biased, but because I like the black bushings. What do we got here? What's this thing? What are you? Oh, we got a transmission mount. We got a GM genuine transmission output shaft seal. Those probably aren't priorities. None of this is. What's the priority this week? I don't know. Wipers? Not a priority either. What we got as a priority, just for moving this thing around, is the gas pedal should be, you know, down here, over here. It's right here. This is where my foot is. This is where my knee is. This is where the gas pedal should be. This is where the gas pedal is. You push it with your foot, not with your knee. It's super uncomfortable. And speaking of super uncomfortable feet positioning, people don't use that word apparently anymore. I'm the only one that uses it. That and people's next generation that maybe no longer exists. Or some of you use foot feet. I don't know, foot pedal, gas pedal, foot feet, throttle pedal, whatever you want to call it. It's a drive-by-wire on this thing, so it's electronics, it's a pedal. So we could mount this thing anywhere that the wires would reach. We could put it in the passenger seat. Wouldn't that be fun? Me and Mojo could drive around. Mojo and I, proper English, Mojo and I could drive around, and I could make Mojo steer, and then we could put like a dummy gas pedal. Oh, how fun would that be? Put like a dummy stock gas pedal with like a spring hooked up to it, so he thought he was driving, and then I'd be on the other side just pinning it to win it and just having Mojo freak out in the passenger seat. We should do something like that. We should like put this for sale and have people come test drive it, and then I'll run the foot feet on the passenger side and surprise them. Okay, that's a terrible idea. Somebody's gonna die, but I think it would be funny. It'd make great content for you guys. Huh? How about that? What do you say? No? Okay. Speaking of being uncomfortable, I'm an uncomfortable person. These flex steel seats, although were probably super awesome and comfortable and stylish in 1985, Duff likes his. I don't like mine. like it should be like over here, this padding, and up here. It's not comfortable. You sit kittywampus. That's a word, right? Kittywampus. So anyway, I got the 2 bolts out in the front. I can't get the bolts out in the back, so I got locking pliers locked to them from up here because I don't have any help. I only have whatever that canine is, not help in this situation because of the lack of thumbs. Maybe I'll just take that out and you can lay on it. Sounds good with him. But I got to go underneath to get these undid. And as you can tell, I can't shimmy my super slender 240-pound body underneath these running boards. So we're gonna have to lift her up in the air. I got some new 235/85 tires. So while we got her up in the air, we should probably put those on there. Because as you know, I'm a fanatic about tires. Well, maybe not a fanatic, but if I'm putting something on the road and gonna drive it, especially if I'm gonna haul something or encounter other people's lives, we're gonna put good tires on it. These are pretty reasonable. Tires in general are, in my opinion, my humble opinion, my YouTube famous make tens of hundreds of dollars from the YouTube a year. Tens of hundreds? Yeah, probably something like that. I'm not good with the chemistry. But anyway, tires, cheap investment, cheap insurance, run good tires. I don't care if it's your hot rod, your daily driver, your daughter's car, your mother's car, your sister's car. Everybody should have good tires. Not a paid promotion from any tire company. But hey, if you want to be a tire sponsor, that's what we need. We need a tire sponsor, a wheel and tire sponsor. No Kreggers, only Steelies and Torque Truss. And maybe some other wheels. Astro Supremes, those are good wheels. Speaking of tires, a lot of people are like, you should put like 22s or 19.5s or whatever on there. Like, I'm not against it. I would totally run some 22s on this thing. I don't like the rubber band style tire. I think they look good. I feel like they probably don't ride that good. And then a lot of those 22s, I think who's that other guy down there in the souths of the Georgias? Mike Finnegan. I think he's got like some ramp truck with 19.5s or 22s or whatever. It sounds like it's really hard to get 22s that are rated for load. Most of them are like SUV tires, not like an actual truck tire. So if you're going to put a gooseneck or a lot of weight on the bumper, they're not rated for it. Like you can get like those wheels, those 22-inch wheels are usually just 22.5 semi wheels. Would have a real legit semi tire on it that are turned down to a 22-inch so you can put a passenger car tire on it. So I could be wrong. Maybe there's somebody out there. But anyway, those wheels are big money. The tires are not super expensive, but those wheels are big money. You can get them with these, 8 by 6.5 bolt pattern that bolt right on here. But some of them are like a 10 lug pattern and those look cool. But then you got to have an adapter. And I refuse to run adapters, especially if I'm going to put a bunch of weight in the back, like a gooseneck or a bumper pull. Just no, we avoid adapters. And then you got caps and lug nuts and all that good stuff. So I'm not marking it out. If you want to be a 22-inch wheel sponsor for this thing, hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com. But for now, I think we're just going to run the chrome wheels and the simulators all the way around with 16-inch tires, 235/85, 16s in the rear, and 235/65 in the front. I might have to put like a 235/75 because I think that front tire's a little bit small, but the switch suspension said that that's the 26-inch tall tire that we have to run, or 20, whatever the number is, but that's what they said we have to run. So I figured they know what they're doing. It was a pretty nice kit, but I think we can get a little bit more tire under there and still be able to drive this thing and not have any clearance issues. Speaking of clearance.
2-4. We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
We got some Trailblade ATs. That's automatic transmission. You got to have the MTs for manual transmission. Just kidding. AT is all-terrain, and MT is mud terrain, maybe? I don't know. It's M&S, so masculine and superior. Just kidding. Mud and snow. You can tell it's mud and snow by the mountains right there with the snowflake in the middle of it. Yep, that's right. Snowflake tires. I don't know why my voice just did that. These are made by Aturo. Probably really awesome. They're made in the 3rd week of 23, so they're pretty new. It says they got traction and they got load ranges. Trailblade. I saw the name and thought that's pretty cool. They're made in Thailand. I don't know where that is. It's probably close to Oakland in California. maybe, but these things, they look pretty good. If they suck, we'll put different ones on it, and you know, we got training wheels in the back of it because it's a dually. So if we blow one of them, we still got the other training wheel to run on. So figure pretty low risk. Let's put some cheap tires on there. I think I got the hand kooks on the front. I've been buying a lot of the hand kooks lately. I've been buying a lot of tires lately. This thing gets a pretty good weekly workout. We just did 4 tires. Those will be on the second channel for the farmstead. Check that out, second channel. We've been doing some stuff over there, and you probably want to see what's going on. Speaking of seeing what's going on, don't look at this thing over here. It's a pickup, and it's a GM, and it's white. That's all I'm going to tell you. And you're going to ask a bunch of questions because you're going to see it in the background, because that's what you guys do. So seats, getting sidetracked here. The bench seat, the flex steel captain's chairs, amazingness from this conversion pickup are going away, and we got a bench seat. And we also got a tint guy, hopefully coming this week without the storm. And he's gonna remove this hideous purple tint and put us in some legal tint, because I mean, there's just too much glass in this pickup to not have tint. And I gotta get a windshield coming. I do have a windshield seal on hand. Like I said, we got some wipers. We're not gonna put those on until we get the new windshield in. But this one is super bad, and not like super good like the movie. Super bad.
I am McLovin.
Also, we got a stereo for this thing. We maybe got some gauges to put in it. We maybe got some HVAC stuff going on. But first thing is first, let's show you this seat. I really love 88 to 94 Chevy bench seats. Somebody told me that, those are only 90 to 92, or this particular seat's a 90, whatever. They fit the OBS pickups. They were pre-1995, because that's when they went to the big cushy ones, which are also good seats, but they don't fit in these as well, in my humble opinion, because everybody can have opinions. They're like your brown eyes. My eyes are brown. That's what my grandpa said. You're so full of crap that your eyes are brown. But opinions are like brown eyes, and not these brown eyes. Everybody's got one, and some of them stink. Where we at? Anyway, this is the seat I got. It's red, so it matches the interior that we kind of got in the pickup going already. So this is a bench seat from, like I said, that same vintage, 88 to 94. It's got the fold down armrest. They're super comfortable. This one cleaned up really well. Loyal subscriber. I don't know if they're loyal, but anyway, they came and got the 76 Ford F100, and they came from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. I found this on the online, and I said, can you bring me this seat? And they said, absolutely, we're coming that way anyway. So they picked it up. I really appreciate it. I gave them some decals and some scraper for their time. And we're gonna try to sneak this seat in there. I've never put one of these in a square body. I've put these in 60 to 66 Chevy pickups. I got one on my 68 Dodge. I got 3 of them in 60 to 66 pickups. I'll put them in everything. They're great. And a similar seat came in like the 88 to 91 crew cabs and Suburbans, which were technically a square body. So, I mean, either way, we'll make it work. That's the thing with seats, is I'm pretty particular about a lot of things. Some things I don't really care at all, but I'm pretty particular with seats. Like, I like seats like that don't have a headrest sticking above your seat. I don't like the whole integrated seat belt thing. Like, I know it's great and it's handy and killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but I don't like killing birds with stones. I like doing them with the old Remington 870 in the fall and Duff Dog chasing them up. Now, that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna get, before we figure out where the gas pedal, the foot feet goes, and we modify that, I want to get that seat in there so that we know the seating position, and we get that thing all good and great and grand, because I mean, we can't move the steering wheel, we can tilt it. So we're gonna put the seat in there so it works, it jives.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive. Oh, cut me some slack, Jack.
We're gonna get that seat in the steering column where they need to be, so that all 3 of us are in harmony. And then we're gonna bring in the old foot feet, and we're gonna make it harmonious with the other 3. Me, OBS seat, steering column, gas pedal, all in one. And Duff. He doesn't need a gas pedal or steering wheel or nothing. So, and the beauty of the bench seat is you can have a cool rest in between you, so you can, you know, have an armrest and keep your soda in there and yada, yada, yada. So, we gotta get this thing up in the air. There's a couple other, you know, like that seal and transmission mount, we gotta have it up in the air for that. And then we gotta get those tires on it, and we gotta get at those bottom bolts. So first thing I wanna do is get these seats out of here and get them out of my way Probably save one in here for Duff to sleep on because he loves seats. He doesn't like his own bed. He's a strange cat, even though he's a dog. And then I want to get that seat off my floor and out of the way and keep him from laying on it and getting it all full of hair in the shop and tripping over it and burning holes and lighting fires on it, whatever else we're going to do with that thing. So enough rambling. I'm going to get this thing up in the air. We're going to get these seats out of there. And by we, I mean myself, and probably myself, because he's probably back there licking himself right now. How to call it. That's all he does around here. All right. This thing's kind of a little bit of a pain to get up in the air, so I'm gonna get that done. The furnace is kind of a pain because it's noisy. I hope it gets warm out, so we won't listen to that thing anymore. So, thank you for struggling through it. Thank you for watching. Check out our merch in the link down below. Check out our website, mortske.com. We got the super scrapers on there for sale. We also got our vehicles that we got available for sale. And you can be battery sponsor through the website there. You can check out the vehicles we got for sale on our Facebook page, Mortske Repair. And you can go follow the fan club, Mortske Repair fan club. All the good stuff. We're on Instagram. Follow us on there. Yada, yada, yada. Back to work. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all you folks who bought merchandise. You guys are all great. And gals, and boys, and girls, and whatever else might be out there. Maybe there's some aliens watching. I don't know. Have I bored you enough? Good. Everybody's quit watching at this point anyway, and we haven't even turned a wrench yet. Right, Wes?
Are you not entertained?
Right. At least we don't run into the wall of our own shop or run into our toolboxes.
Man, that was dumb. I can't believe I did that.
We probably don't need to start it. We can just push it. I got the battery in there, so we don't burn down the shop. No rise. Just move it. It pushes real hard. Duff, you're not helping. Mush! Son of a biscuit. All right, we got her up in the air on our hoist, tomato. Nobody died yet. We haven't killed anybody on this channel, so I mean, let's keep the streak alive. What are you doing? No, don't drink that used oil. You gotta burn that. That's a bad way to die. It's like drinking coolant. Nobody's done that ever in history. Not that I've known of, anyway. So you can see these aftermarket seat mounts. I think they're a 5/16 bolt there. I think there's 2 on each side. Yeah, one of them actually went through this cross member on the body, and you'd see when they converted this thing from the factory. I wonder how they did it. These things came with full interiors and they threw all the seats away and whatnot and replaced the headliner and seats or what. But anyway, they cut that brace out of there to put that bolt in. So we got to take those 2 out. The original bolts, or the other bolts, they went there, and there's another one over there. So we got those front ones out. There's our leaking transmission seal and our leak. We're gonna put a tranny mount in it too while we're at it. Maybe, who knows? It doesn't leak that bad, but we got them. A lot of people are making suggestions that I should put a remote, whatever, coupler here, because this is gonna get full of dirt and whatever. Well, it's pretty well protected. I can see the dirt part, but people are like, put a remote so you can get at it. Well, I only need to reach 2 feet underneath the vehicle to get to it. And then I don't have to worry about another line being run and wearing through and drilling a bunch of holes. So I think we're just gonna leave it there. And you could say I told you so if I ever have an issue with it later on the road, because I don't think I'm gonna end up using this coupler as much as some people think. Somebody else said that you could put a cap over that, like the WD-40 cap, and keep the debris out of there, which makes sense. So I should find a cap and put over that. So that's a pretty good suggestion. Somebody else said that you can't run these compressors on their side. I didn't see anything in the instructions, but then again, I didn't read them real well. But I know a lot of people run them on the side, Puddin does, and this thing is not gonna run that much. It's only gonna run when I turn the switch on and I wanna pump up the bags, which, let's be honest, I mean, how often am I gonna be hauling something? Who knows? But if I burn it out, again, you could say, I told you so. Are you gonna say I told you so? Yeah, that's right. Look away. Let's get these seats out of here. Carry on with our lives. I'll take the seat bolts out if you want to pull the rear wheels off, or vice versa. No? Okay. I'll do it all. I think these are the factory seat bolts. No, that's the seat belt bolts. I don't know where the factory seat bolts are on these. I think they're there somewhere. Okay. Let's see if we can get these out of there. Can somebody tell me why 7/16 bolts have a 5/8 head on the bolt and the nut is 11/16, and why no other size is like that? You know, 5/16 bolts, 1/2 inch both sides, 3/8 is 9/16 on both sides. I always thought that was weird. What's the reasoning behind that? Comment down below. We'll make a Mortske minute on it. 1 down, 3 to go. Probably can't get at them with a wrench. Impact. We have to do it the old Manuel way with a ratchet. Yep, definitely gonna round that out. Swivel socket and long extension to the rescue. I mean, long swivel extension. Oh no! That one spun. Somebody put an air tank in the way of that one. Tech tip of the day when you're taking out your cheesy conversion seats, make sure to take them out before you put the air compressor in the way. The access of the hardware. We're gonna give this one a little heat. A little heat goes a long ways. A lot of heat might be required. It's melted yet, though. Don't make me turn you into liquid. Got it. You're thinking about getting yourself a torch. You should get one. They're way good. We should do a Mortske minute on torches. Yeah, how about that? How torches became invented, and the brands that are out there, and the brands that were there, how they came. Yeah, mine's a Smith. Get a Smith. They're made in Watertown, South Dakota, originally in Minneapolis or St. Paul or Minneapolis. Now they're in Watertown, so good old local stuff. Put our jack away, and then we can put the old dually down. Hopefully the dually doesn't let us down. I'm sure it will. I mean, optimism. No way this thing ever lets us down. You should have pulled ahead further. I suppose the lift is going to be, oh, woohoo! Yeah, let's sneak the old flex steel out of there. First world problems, the lift is in the way. Shout out to whoever sent us these Rusty Jones decals. We put them on some magnets and we can put them wherever we want. This is pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
And then go check out Watch West work. He makes really cool decals as well. That's an Illinois pickup, if you can't tell. Wisconsin's got them too. And that's Slender Man there. He's getting skinnier. His flashlight's a good one though. Not a Cyclops, but it's a good one. You know, we get this seat out of there. What is holding it in? Passenger seat's loose. Well, driver's seat's loose. Not all of it. Come on, baby. We should get this Expedition rear glass out of the back here before we break it. I was going to put it on the back of our parts Expedition that we stole the last one from, but in case you didn't watch this last video, let's pick up where the Suburban was under 8 feet of snow. As you can guess, the parts Expedition is in the same boat. It's under snow. Is it in a boat? Probably not. It's in the same igloo. Whew! One bench down, one to go. Look at this custom fabric cobbled bracket that they made. Yeah, that's nice. Tech tip of the day, get yourself a locking pliers, clamp on the top of the bolt when you're by yourself. Your partner can't help and hold the wrench on there. Oh, they even got a little slottage going on there. Welded the spacers on there. Real nice. They don't know how to spell dually though. Dually. It's an L, 2 L's, and a Y. This thing must have been built in Oklahoma by relatives of that Pot County pudding. Go shout him out for being the fabric cobble of air compressor and airbag king. He's the air ride king, not self-proclaimed because we say that he is. But, whew, that was a lot of work wrestling that out of there. That's been a while since I did in the wrestling in the back seat of a vehicle. All right. Oh, look at this. One of them striped horsies. Look at all that poopy. All of the mouse poopy. Pretty sure we're immune to hantavirus. Oh, it's everywhere, Duff. Look at it. Yeah, we definitely need some carpet, but we got some on order, I think. We got one more to get out of there. I don't know what its problem is. I think it might be that the seat is not attached to that base and that, I don't know. Something ain't jiving. All of the jive comments this week. That's what we should call this thing, is jive. No? Comment down below what you think we should name this dually. You got a good name for it. Or we just call it the dually. The Mouse House Express. Somebody said we got to take the running boards off and the roof rails. No, we're not taking the roof rails off. Maybe. Running boards, kind of attached to them. We'll see. We're gonna let those rip themselves off when we go over speed bumps and such. Or skid plates is what they're. No, what are the rock college guys? Rock guards, Nerf bars, rock rub rails. Something down below. Oh, rock sliders. That's what it is. They're rock sliders is what they are. But they're like speed hump sliders on this thing. That's what we should call this pickup. Ruin, because that's what I did to it. Ruined it. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing up in the air and knock that bolt out. Then we'll get the seat out. Duff's keeping a distance. Safety third, right, pal? Boy, do I feel dumb. Found out why that bolt won't come out of there. Left my needle nose locking pliers hooked to the bolt. I bet it comes right out now. Hey, that's hot still. Weird, who'd have thought? You won't see people doing stupid stuff like that on those TV reality shows. Just stupid people on stupid YouTube channels. Anything else we forgot over there, Duff? You're just keeping your distance, huh? He's mad that I took that seat out. You want me to prop that seat up so you can sit on it? Okay, we can do that. Come on now. Come to Papa. You ever tried to fit a recliner through a dog door? It's kind of what we got going on. On next week's second channel video, Mortske goes to the chiropractor. Yeah, the Hamburglar. Give him a barbecue and he just runs off, eats it in the corner. He can't even share a meal together. All right, got these seats set up for old Duff to lay on. If you want some stinky beer fart flex steel seats that have brackets to fit in your square body crew cab, hit us up. mortskerepair@gmail.com. I will not ship, will not hold, no deliveries, cash or cases of sandwich trades only. a single case of sandwiches, you could have these. What a time to be alive. A 30 rack of Bush lattes is like 25 bucks. Dang it. I remember we used to give somebody 20 bucks to buy it for you, and you gave them a tip. Yeah, because I had somebody buy it for me. I was classy like that at one time, you know? It's like having a chauffeur, but for beer. Don't think too deeply on that one. Oh, while I was gone, Mojo made a nice bracket for holding the air intake, so we put a little Mojo Craft sticker on there. We need to get those made into some merchandise so that, you know, Mojo gets the publicity that he deserves. He said he doesn't want to be recognized in public though, so maybe we'll keep it on the DL. He does good work. This one isn't as stout as Dad's Buick. You can't quite tow it out with it, but she's pretty solid. Speaking of being pretty solid, we should probably... Is this rubbing on it? We might have to further inspect his work. I don't like where that hose is hanging close to that fan. We'll check her out later. Right? Right, how was your barbecue? Pretty good? Yeah. Time for dessert? Okay, my back already hurts, so I might as well carry that bench seat across the shop by myself and weasel it in between obstacles and somehow try to sneak it in the back of that thing. I'd vacuum it out, but I think we're just gonna throw that carpet away, so maybe we should just pull the carpet out right meow.
Hey, you stop laughing right now.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Let's get the seatbelts out and get that carpet out there. It's gross. And I refuse to clean it. And like I said, I got some new stuff coming. But the delivery guy's probably not gonna show up in the middle of this store. What do we got back here? Looks like there must have been a broken window pane at one point. Tronolane, aesthetic cream for hemorrhoids. Rapid relief of pain and itching. You know, hemorrhoids are no laughing matter.
I've never seen any hemorrhoids quite that big, Doug. Thank you. Looks like somebody has shingled your butt with Spanish tile.
Oh, here's the bottle. We're just gonna get rid of that too. Apparently this hot rod gave somebody else hemorrhoids. Ugh. There's gotta be a funny hemorrhoid joke out there. Comment your favorite hemorrhoid joke down below. I feel like there were some really funny ones in grade school. 2003 GNC coupon calendar. What a deal. This guy was getting juiced up and doctored up. Yeah. Let's just get rid of that stuff. Doesn't look like anything else good in there. There was a 5/16 bit for a screw gun up there, a short stubby Phillips screwdriver, and then a long flat Cobalt screwdriver. So yeah, got some good tools. The guy who used to own this thing probably left them in there, the last guy, so you know who you are. Reach out to us if you need your tools back. We'll ship them to you. Seemed like a nice guy. All right, I think we got a seatbelt and a door sill plate up here, and carpet should be ready to come out of here. Oh, one more seatbelt over there. I hope this carpet isn't glued down. Oh, it is. I don't think I've ever had that. I'm guessing that was... Yeah, that's definitely not a formed carpet. This is the carpet that Cozy Coop Customs put in. Dang it. So I suppose since it wasn't molded, they glued it in place. What a fun job this is going to be. What a terrible idea. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's just around the edges. And not in the middle, but I feel like these guys went above and beyond. a miserable SOB that was. Had to take my sweatshirt off. Rocking the Duff wagon apparel. Check it out in the link down below. All you who have purchased merchandise, we really appreciate it. We use that money for dumb stuff like carpet for square bucks. That was miserable. It was house carpet. It was glued in. I don't know if it's part of this conversion package, but there's like doubled up 3/4 inch plywood, glued and screwed here, and some like HVAC sheet metal. I think there's some nails even. Yeah, well, that's a screw that just looks like a nail. There's plywood up there, and there's foam on the console. He said there was a wood console in here. It stunk terribly, and he had to like rip it out of here. He couldn't like find the screws all holding it, and I could see why. So I feel like we're not going to take this glue off. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. We got to tear up some more carpet. Had to cut it into I don't know how many pieces. Sill plates, one piece on each side. And this, yeah, no fun. But I'm guessing the new molded carpet's gonna have to drop in this dip here. I don't know why they did that. I'm supposed to put their craptastic carpet in it. But we're gonna probably have to get that outlet. I think we can get the seat fitted for now and then rip that out later. This is just a disgusting, terrible, crappy job. But at least the floors are super solid, eh, Duff? He's like, let's shut her down for the night. All right, so much room for activities in here.
So much aerobics in here. So many activities. Do step class. It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
You're a lot of help, ain't you? Got the seat drug up here. I think we're gonna try to sneak her in the back door.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So this should be solid entertainment for all of you watching. Not so much me for participating. If you're gentle and you take it slow, it slip right in the back door. Don't think deeply on that one. Now we gotta wrestle this seat in there. It looks like it's gonna be sitting too high. There again, you can read on the internet about, oh yeah, I made it work, and nobody's got pictures or says what they did, or how they mounted it, or what the seat's even out of, yada yada. So you just gotta try it. So it looks like we're gonna have to adjust the height, so cut down the seat risers, but who knows, we'll see. Definitely, we're not gonna cut down the floor and move it down. Going to approve of the new seating situation? Yeah, I'm not so certain about it either. We're gonna have to do some modification, I think. Nothing's ever easy. Anything easy is not good, and anything good never comes easy. I don't know, something like that. Like just by eyeballing it, it looks like this needs to come down quite a ways. But what do I know? Looks like here. I mean, that column is tilted all the way up, and my fat hammies aren't gonna fit between that seat and that wheel, but we're gonna try it anyway. You know, that ain't the worst, but yeah, it's gotta be tipped down. That's the problem with these bench seats, is there's like no lumbar, just no adjustment in general other than sliding the whole seat back and forth, because I feel like I'm leaned way back, like rolling cholo. I don't even know what cholo means, so don't turn me into CNN News or whatever. All right, we might have to do a little research on the interwebs and see what guys are doing. Like I said, we can cut these down. I've never cut one down. They've always just worked. Come on now. I'm trying to see if I fit. You go try your side. Over there. What? Killing me, Smalls. That's definitely not going to shut with that light in it. Ugh. You need a light that doesn't screw with the camera. YouTuber problems. Quit now! Yeah, we gotta tip her down a little bit, right? And set it down a bit, I think. We could probably just set some blocks under and take the pedestals off, the brackets, and set some blocks underneath and get it set to where we need, and then take some measurements and go from there and cut these down. Seem like a good idea, Duff? Doesn't look like there's any bullet holes that are just gonna line right up, so we're gonna need to do some modifications to the floors. Not to the floor, just gonna drill some holes, you know. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, let's see what we can figure out. Come on now, you're standing on my package. Let's get out of here. You turd. We just cleaned this seat all up, now you got hair all over it. Got hair all over me. I wear shirts with your picture on it. When have you ever worn a shirt with my picture on it? Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Come on now. This is harassment. You can't do this at work. Okay. Oh, hey, look at that. We're actually going through an engine around here. Maybe. Who knows? We're good at taking things apart. So, last night after I left off here, I went and did a quick Google search. OBS bench seat in a square body Chevy. And who came up but our pal, Jason over at Old Car Garage. Go check him out. OCG, old with an E, car with 2 R's, auto. Old Car Auto, not Old Car Garage. Maybe it's Old Car, I don't know. We'll put a link, not a link, but we'll put a, it's listed right here. Go check Old Car Guy out. Yeah, not Old Car Garage, it's OCG, Old Car Guy. But anyway, he's got a little, I don't even know the year. I think it's a round headlight. So 73 to 79, square body, regular cab, long box. He calls Dale. And he put a tan bench seat out of like, I think is like a 95 and newer Cheyenne. Anyway, he put an OBS seat in there. They're all, mounting is the same. And he had a pretty good way of doing it. It was minimal fabrication. So let's see if we can't make this work again. That was a regular cab. We got a crew cab. That was a little bit newer seat. It was a little bit older seat, but OBS floors are all the same. Square body floors are all the same. So I think it'll work. But anyway, what did we have around Duff? We had a 1988 Chevrolet Suburban out back that somebody had already put buckets in it. But when I bought it, they threw in the bench seat. And they asked if I wanted it. I said, of course, because there's always stuff you can use. The seat's a little bit chewy. Where's the driver's side? These 81 to 87 seats are not as robust as the earlier ones, but yeah, she's pretty blowed out. You can't see it there. So we're gonna take the tracks off of this and see if we can't adapt the tracks onto that OBS seat up there. And you can see these seat tracks, you know, only come down a couple inches there, and they're almost flush up here at the front. Plus, it's gonna have the exact same mounting locations if we place it properly as the pickup. So it should just bolt right in the pickup. We shouldn't have to modify the floors at all, other than cleaning the glue off so we can find the hole, you know. Flour doesn't work. Sometimes you gotta use glue. Don't think too hard about that. Anyway, we're gonna steal these seat tracks off of this, and we're gonna take the seat tracks out the OBS seat, and we're gonna see if we can't get them adapted with minimal effort. And yeah, and we're gonna see if the seat gets lower. And I'll use all stock parts with minimal fabricationisms, because we're not very good fabric cobblers, are we, Duff? No, we are not. Okay. Looks like just 3 bolts here. I don't know if those are 5/16. I think so. Take those off and go from there. We'll have to figure out some way to mount our lever spring thinger for our seat adjuster, even though it'll probably never get adjusted because it'll just be me driving it and it'll be all the way back the whole time, because that's the way I like it. Now we just got to get the seat tracks off of this seat and modify everything to work. I'd take the seat out, but I'm too lazy. What was that? Snow falling off the roof? You're in the way, pal. I just put seats out on the floor for you to hang out on. I just brought another one in from outside last night again. You got all the seats. Not this one. Come on now. You got work to do. How in the world does this unbolt? Here's a little tiny 10 millimeter. Pull that lever back. Oh, we maybe can use that same spring linkage lever on this one, huh? How neat would that be?
How neat is that?
Out of curiosity, I laid this seat flat on the floor with no seat risers. I'm trying to see how it sits. You could probably drive it like this, but I think I'm gonna raise it up just a hair. So let's get those brackets that we took off of that square body seat, put it on this OBS seat, and see how she fits. The seat looks like it's a hair narrower than the OEM seat. Oh, what do I know? I suppose we could take a measurement and check it out, huh? Seemed like a good idea there, Duff? He's mad because I locked him out, even though there's 3 other doors open on this thing. Thinks I'm going for RIDE without it. Don't you, pal? Come here. Check the new seat out. See what you think. I kind of like it. I do. Put a little console in the middle here to keep our road sodas in place. Maybe keep. We need to find like, yeah, center console that's got. We keep a 6-pack cold in there. It keeps your cans cold. Brilliant. If only they made such a thing. It's 12-volt operated. They probably do. All right. Screwing around. I think old car guy, when he got done with his, he says the seat kind of tipped a header back one way or another, so maybe we'll have to do a little shimming, but see if we can't get it bolted in there. I think how we're going to try to start, see, these bolt holes are in line, and this one and these are offset, so we could either put a plate across here and then drill a hole in the middle and snag it, or let's just get it bolted on there and see. It looks like our adjustment lever is going to be on the inside pretty close to where this was, so that should be accessible, and even if it tucked it up underneath, like I said, I'm not going to adjust it much. We can still get at it. Looks like they used the same knob in 1990 as they did in 1988, so, you know, carrying the part numbers over. But let's get this somehow attached and go from there. I think we should be able to just bolt it on the front, and then this just rest on there for now, and do a test fit up, see where it's at before we do any modifications. And we might have to put a spacer in here if we want to get our seat tipped right. I don't know, caster, camber, lumbar. I don't know all these alignment terminologies. Do you, Duff? Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get these slid on there. Here again, you can't believe everything on the internet. OCG, when he did his brackets ended up, you know, right here where they should be, and ours are way too far back. And we got our front bolt in. So yeah, I don't know. We shall see. And then this adjuster needs to put a little bend in it because she's rubbing in the bottom of the seat pretty hard. Or we'd have to extend it out maybe. Who knows? Let's get the other side on there and get her sat down and see. But yeah, we definitely got to move that ahead because it's gonna have to push on something. Now let's flop her down. I think the way it's adjusted is all the way ahead, so let's adjust these all the way back because that's where I'm gonna kind of set it up at, because nobody taller than me is gonna be driving this thing. We're not gonna get too tall Tom Szymanski in here.
Some passing PM puffies.
So I slid the seat to where it should line up, and I had to slide the seat back further, so we're gonna make some adjustments. We got to slide that track ahead anyway to get the back bolts to line up. So I think we're gonna drill a new hole for the front and move that whole track ahead, and then at the same time, they're about 50 inches wide, and we need 47 inches wide for the mounting locations in the floor. So we need to move them in, what's that, 1.5 inches on either side. So nothing is going to bolt together. We're going to have to fabricate everything. I do like the angle that everything's sitting at right now, but like I said, I got everything kind of slid back over that hump in the floor. So let's get it mounted at 47 inches and get it mounted to where it's catching both the front and the back of the seat, and then we'll make the inclination. We'll make the, it's inclination, it's not altitude, we'll make the inclination adjustments this thing. Right where it's at right now, I'm actually really happy with, but we got to get it mounted to the floor, and I want everything solid, so yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of playing around to make her right. I'm probably just gonna crank through all that and then just show you the end product, because you guys don't want to see me drilling and measuring and sliding in and sliding out and dinking around. So like I said, you can read all you want on the internet about doing stuff like this, mounting seats and swapping seats, and then you can watch all the YouTube videos you want, but unless you get the exact same seat and you got the exact same floor and you're the exact same height and you got the exact same steering column and all that other stuff, It's not gonna work. You just gotta get out there and do it. So if you get a project like this right now that you're worried about, just get out there and do it. The seat is a big one. If you're not comfortable driving your vehicle, you're probably not gonna drive it. I don't care how cool your car looks. If you're miserable driving it, you're probably not gonna drive it. All these guys with their giant ape hangers on their bikes and their rigid suspension and their cast iron metal seats, they probably putt around town with it now and again, but they're not gonna jump in it, jump on it, and go 300-400 miles. So a good seat goes a long ways. White light in my old white Chevy 62. That thing had a terrible seat in it, and I drove it and I hated it. Put a good seat in it, and it made all the world of difference. So do a seat, do it right. It's a big part. It's like wheels and tires and stance makes it look good. A seat makes you want to drive it, makes you enjoy driving. So, all right. Duff says, quit screwing around. Get that seat mounted so we can go for an RIDE. Okay. Crack on the whip. Let's do this. All right, should we show them the secret recipe, Duff? So you get one 1990 Chevrolet bench seat from a Silverado, higher trim package. And then you get yourself a bench seat from a 1988 Chevrolet Suburban, which is still square body. So you get an 81 to 87 set of seat tracks and a 88 to 94 bench seat. And you mount these tabs, there's a metal bracket right there. You mount those tabs pretty much flush with that, and you slide them all the way over as tight as you can to this upright over here. You might even have to put this in the grinder and sand it down a little bit, but you gotta get 47 inches from the center there to the center there. I would recommend just clamping something that's 47 inches there, hold the hole, center to center, and the same thing up there. And you gotta drill, this hole is just about on the original hole. You gotta move them out about 5/8 of an inch from the existing hole. And then once you get that hole drilled, I use nut certs, but you can get at the backside, you can put a 5/16 nut on there, but I use those nut certs because why not? I got the tool, I've never used it before. Pretty dang slick, go check it out. Let us know, maybe on the second channel you want to see us do a video on nut certs, but I use 2 nut certs there and one up there. This side actually lined up with a hole, so I just put a 5/16 longer bolt through. And I did notice this when I had it mocked up sitting in there, I wanted it to sit back just a little bit. So I took a 1x4, which is what, 3/4 of an inch wide, and I put it between the top of the seat rail and the bottom lip of the seat, and that sat about right. And for the space between that dipped up metal piece and where I mounted it, I needed about 1 5/8 inch, 1 3/4. So I found these cool little bushings to put in. How neat is that? This is engine mount bushing from a Bobcat skid steer, I think from a G and K series. I don't know if M series uses them or not, but R series, I don't know. Anyway, got these sweet bushings. They're probably like 1 1/4 bottom diameter and like 3/4 top diameter, and they're for a 1/2 inch bolt. We just put a 5/16 bolt in it. I like these because it spreads the stress out on the bottom of this seat, because the weight of everything you're sitting on here, well, half of it, all of it's going to be there, 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 and there. So it's kind of spread out in the back, but it's pretty defined there. So if you use a small bushing, it's gonna crack out eventually. So we use that big bushing there, and then I had to drill a hole here on each side to use that bushing. This was the original hole. I'm gonna leave these on there for now, but I think long term I would want to cut those off. So the cool thing about what we did here is this seat will bolt right back into a 88 to 94 if we put the brackets back on that we took off. These seat brackets will bolt onto a square body if we wanted to put them back on a square body seat. And it's all gonna bolt right into this pickup. I didn't have to do any welding, I didn't have to do any machining. Like I said, basically just a drill and a tape measure and a marker and a little bit of patience, and you could have this thing bolted in your vehicle. You don't have to cut up the floors, you don't have to drill holes through your floor and into your fuel tank and your fuel line, your brake line, your wire harnesses. It's all just bolt-in stuff. So if I want to take this seat out, I can put a square body seat right back in here. I don't have a bunch of holes to fill, or the floor's all cut up with brackets welded to it. So pretty slick setup here. So I'm probably just driving up the prices of 88 to 94 Chevy bench seats. And then we took the, I don't know what they call this, the cable off of the square body. Here's the existing one of the OBS. We're gonna leave it in there. We didn't even put you had to trim this whatever material or wrapped around. You didn't have to, but I did, and then tucked it underneath the bolts in the back, and I put a new hog ring in there, a couple of them, and I ran out of hog rings, so I had to open this hog ring up and then just run the wire through there. But yeah, everything works as it should. Watch this. Don't put your fingers in it. Stop it! So all GM stuff, short of a couple of nut certs and some hardware and those spacer bushings. And the nice part about these bushings is if I need less of a bushing, or if I want to bring that seat down, tilt it ahead, I can take that out, cut the end off, shorten it up. Or if I need a longer one, I just put a longer bolt in and then get a bigger spacer and put in there, and that way we can adjust our anglitude. That's the word, right, Duff? Anglitude. He says, just get that son of a biscuit installed so I can lay on it. So demanding. Yeah, all GM stuff. Pretty dang cool. We could make like pudding type videos, but with vacuum cleaners. Wait, that would definitely be classified as X-rated. This job really sucks. Dad jokes. Just thinking, hopefully this is the last time we do this, but nope, we gotta do it again once we get the carpet back in. Well, folks, sometimes you just can't get in the back door. The problem is the big ugly lever's hitting, which I should probably shorten up, but I refuse to. Well, that door don't open any further. This door doesn't open as far because it's the pump on her lift. So we either gotta take the doors off the pickup, roll the pickup to the head so we can get in the front doors, or take the seat brackets off. I guess I'll take the seat brackets back off. Good thing I made them so they're got nut certs on the one side, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. side's latched. Oh yeah, she sits pretty good. Just gotta put some bolts in the front up here. And our OBS bench seat install is a wrap. Then we can wrap it up on the exhaust pedal a bit, eh, Duff? Yeah. Okay, on to our next project. We got seat in, so now we can figure out where the gas pedal goes. But the thing is with the gas pedal, the stock one should be in the proper location. So I've got a stock cable-driven gas pedal, and we're gonna see if we can't make that work with this electronic pedal. If you just had a drive-by cable, LS, I would think you could make the stock pedal and just get the correct cable. Everything should work great. Shouldn't have to mess with anything, but since we don't have a direct replacement pedal, we're gonna have to do with a modified. So let me show you what we got going on here. Maybe a jigging fixture. No, not fishing, just laying stuff out. So this right here is our stock 7387 pedal. There's idle, there's wide open. It's got this little roll pin here in this slot, and that's what stops it. And if you've got your firewall the correct distance from here to here, and you've got your bracket on your intake the correct distance from the linkage on the throttle or on the carburetor or throttle body, whatever you got, this idle should be right there and wide open should be right there. You should use the full throw of the pedal. So here's the one that he had in there, and you could tell he's got her modified. It's been heated and bent there and heated and bent there, and he's got it welded up here. I think this came out of a van. I'm not really sure. This is a stock one out of an 03 half-ton pickup. I've got all these clamped, or I've got these two clamped out about on the same plane. He used this lower hole right here as the same hole as right here. So based on that, our pedals should be at the same height, and left and right, yada, yada, yada. So I think if we get this pedal perfectly centered with that hole, and then get the angle of the dangle just right, and then get her the right height off the firewall, everything should be good. I don't know what this whole thinger is here. This stock one for the pickup doesn't have it, and then he's got it welded so I can't do anything anyway. So I think I'm gonna cut that off right about in there somewhere, and then I'm gonna leave this cut off pretty long, and then we're gonna do some clamping and fixturing. And I got our Miller 140 out here, and we're gonna see if we can't make it work. And we might even sneak a stock style pedal on there if we get real crazy, but I don't know. Of course, Square Body's had two different ones. I think this is the earlier one and this is the later one with the angle. I don't know. Cross that bridge when we get there. And also he had bolts just going through the firewall, which I don't know why he didn't just use the stock screws. So he had a nut on the back side, so I used the nut cert on the firewall, and then he's got a bolt welded in here as a stud, so I think I'm gonna have to cut that off and either put a nut cert in there, or I guess I can just put a nut on the back side of the firewall. I didn't really like that, but I really like that nut cert machine. It's made by Astro here. Part number 1442, the 13-inch nut thread something. Comes with metric nut cert, so I bought a selection of SAE ones. It's pretty dang handy. You can make some neat stuff. So I'm gonna do some cutting. Hopefully I can just splice it all together and not have to do any heating and bending, but if we gotta do some heating and bending, no big deal. I was hoping that this one would be like a direct bolt in and be the same as this, but even that stock one's up there pretty high. This thing must have been way out there and way long, but we'll make her work. All right, she's all tacked up. We're gonna go do a little test fit. See how she looks before we burn her in real good. Okay, so our test fit up went pretty well. I lined up the top of the pedals. This pedal, the stock pedal, is a little bit longer, so it hangs a little bit lower. I probably should have offset that or went off the bottom alignment because you don't really see the top of the pedal, you see the bottom. But I actually like the way it sits. I got pretty long legs, and the thing is you can always move the seat forward. It's in a pretty good spot. It's easy to adjust later. This pedal is all mangled, so we're not really screwing anything up. If I was gonna do it again, I would grab another pickup pedal and modify that, and I would probably cut the bottom off a square body pedal and then graft that on there so you already got the matching pedals if you're really into that. But this thing is not a show pickup. She's gonna be a hauler, and so I like using these off-the-shelf components. So I'm gonna finish cutting and grinding and welding and buffing and painting and whatever. Just kidding, we're not painting. But I'm gonna modify this pedal. We're gonna get that in here, and that's what we're gonna do. And then this thing's gonna be getting real close to going for a ride, except for we're in the middle of a snowstorm, and the lowered two-wheel drive dualies are not real good in the snow, I would assume, but who knows? We'll find something else to do. Duff says, get that pedal in there. Okay, I'm on it, boss. This little jigging up setup actually worked pretty dang good. Let's cut all this ugliness off there. We don't need that where we're going. There you have it, one LS swap, drive-by-wire, square body pedal. It's a little warm yet. And all I did was just took a chunk of what we'd cut off up here and came down here and spliced it in there because the piece that was on here maybe would have been long enough before he bent it up, the previous owner. So we just kind of scabbed it on there. Definitely could have done a nicer job with the splice and cleaned it all up, but it's going to be plenty strong. Nobody's ever going to see it except for you guys. Could throw some paint on it, it'd be fine. This way I won't feel bad going underneath there with a torch and heating it up and bending it if we need to. So, good stuff. Baby steps. All right, time for a celebratory sandwich. Let this cool down before we install it. We don't want to burn up our carpet that doesn't exist. There you can kind of see what we got going on there. I mean, they're pretty much on the same plane. This pedal sits a little bit lower, but it doesn't have near as much travel as the old throttle cable did. There's pegged, and I can't peg this one because I don't have enough hands, but you get it. Pretty close to what it was. Like I said, the only thing I would probably do different is start with a pickup pedal and then graft one of these bad boys on there so she looks the OG, you know, keep them guessing. That's what I like about, you know, stock appearing gauges, stock appearing seats, stock column shifters. You know, it just looks like a cowboy Cadillac. A lot of you guys call it that. This looks like an old boy's cowboy Cadillac. Maybe she's a little bit lower, but other than that, from the outside, you wouldn't know that she's got a 6-leaker hiding underneath the hood. I'm gonna let this cool off. Have a sandwich. We're gonna cool off. We should probably go outside and move some snow before it gets any worse out there. Check that out on the second channel. Snow moving. I'm sure there'll be plenty of it. You wanna go outside and run around in the snow? Frolic around, make a snowman, snow angels, Hoover Schneefs, yeah, all right, let's go. Well, we got our computer loaded up. We're gonna blast over to Eli's, and we think we got something with the map screwed up. It's not running that great, so Duff and I are taking a rip in the old Expedition. This is a state highway. That's how bad they are. Not good. Let's get over for the plow, Duff. Boy, he's really pushing her along the line. Oh, we're gonna need good wipers. Oh, there we go. Right next to the rescue. So we got about 45-mile drive, and we're gonna go over to Eli. We're just taking the computer, and he's gonna hopefully flash a stock tune in it. We should be ready to rip. But yeah, I just want to show you how amazing the roads are. Actually, they'll probably be pretty good now, but the problem is it dried out, and then the roads were nice and dry, and it was warm enough they got hot, and then the wind blew the snow across the road, and you get slush, and it's a lot of slush. But the plows are out. Those guys are earning their keep. Pretty good on Melheim Hill, though. All right, here we are. Rigid Customs LLC. Looks like his yard's a mess, so we should probably park somewhere where it's Gonna hopefully let it dry up. But he's gonna flash a computer for us, huh, Duff? Yeah. Wow, this is a really nice computer lab you got here.
Thanks.
It's a really comfortable. Look at this sawhorse chair you got.
This thing inside.
You got it with the F-bombs. There's children that watch this.
I know you're recording.
What did you think I had pointed at you? A gun?
You never know.
Cripes. You gotta keep your eye on this guy, Duff. Did you try to turn it off, turn it back on? 60% of the time it works. Right. Every time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Here we go. Let's see what that does.
Duff loves computer programming.
04 GMC Sierra. That's gonna be a 5.3. Crap.
Dang it. Guess we'll have to 5.3 swap it. While we're waiting here, standing around in our Craftsman slippers. These things are probably collectors. They got lifetime warranty? What is that smell? Oh my gosh. It's got wrenches on the bottom for all the traction. Oh, and they're crescent wrenches and open end wrenches to boot. Wow. These things are probably collectors and worth tens of dollars. But let's throw on the old, what is this thing? It's a Row AMI. God bless the USA. We built this city. Let's go. Oh, Folsom Prison Blue. Where's the button?
Black back there.
I don't want to put my hand in there. I'm probably gonna.
Somewhere right around there.
Oh, jiggle the handle, Pigpen. Jiggle it.
You have to jiggle the handle. Just jiggle it.
It's got a knob.
There's like a recessed hole and there's a flipper switch in there.
Yeah, put some hair on it. Boom! We're gonna let the tubes warm up. It's got a microprocessor control. What vintage is this thing? It's licensed operator number 017 by the official of the Attorney General. Oh, nickels, dimes, quarters. You got any money, Dad? Where are we going with? Blaze of Mercury Blues with Alan Jackson? Chattahoochee? What a time to be alive. Peggy Sue, Jailhouse Rock. We could make an entire video on this thing. Pearl Jam? What? Bon Jovi, Collective Soul, Paul Abdul, Ricky Martin. Okay, this thing isn't as old as I was hoping.
Play something reasonable.
Savage Garden, 98. The Macarena by Los Del Rio. Dead-Eye Dick, New Age Girl. Wasn't that on Dumb and Dumber? 196. Boom, 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 boom. That's not that one. Toby Keith, who's your daddy? In Sync, that's why you got this. The Credit Computer. November 1977. Nice. Oh, Scotch clips. Spare set of keys. Wire nuts, you are definitely in here. Another November 97. Or 77. Oh man, this thing is great. Okay, now I need a jukebox in my life. Force it. I'll probably never put another song in there, so it's probably just gonna do what it does. 204. Oh. Not the number I wanted. Didn't push the zero hard enough. 240, what do we got? I can't read it when it spins. Thanks, sir. We'll do it again. Right. The people want you to do a better tour, you know, and show them your pickup and
go for
whatever that is. Yeah.
We'll go back on the backside of the 15 acres.
Yeah, I see some gravel pits we could jump back there.
Mud bogging with the Blazer.
All right.
Later.
See you next time. All right, kids, we're back. It is Easter Sunday. We're slaving away out here in the shop. Well, you're going to be watching this video. Well, it's going to be going live on Monday, the day after Easter, the 10th. It's 409 day. Wish I had a 409. Maybe this summer. I think I bought one last fall. We got to go get it. But anywho, I stuck our foot feed in there. We slid our computer in there that's Rigid Customs programmed for us yesterday. So let's see if this thing will light off and go for a little Easter ride. It's something I kind of like to do. It seems like every Easter is like one of the first nice days of the year, so we go for a ride. Finally, we have a break in the weather. It's like in the upper 30s today, and stuff's starting to dry out. This week has been all over the place. We got some terrible storms. We got, you know, a foot of snow, wet, heavy, nasty stuff. The local museum lost their roof. We spent a day helping out there. That'll be on the second channel. I took my dad and we went and got a welding table for him in Minnesota, and took him out for lunch and met up with some family members there. And so that took up a day. I spent a half a day doing my taxes because tax season's coming up, all that fun stuff. We had a really short week. Seems like we didn't get anything done, but mounting seats and modifying gas pedals take a long time. That being said, Dustin, the previous owner of this, messaged me when I showed him the gas pedal I modified. He goes, I just found this, but if you get like a gas pedal out of a 98 Chevy 1-ton with a 6.5 diesel, it bolts right in and plugs right in, and you can get them for like 80 or 100 bucks through the aftermarket. So if you're doing this and you don't want to modify a pedal, I would have probably been money ahead by the time I modified all that to get one for it. I think it's like 94 to 2,000 1-tons with 6.5 diesel. Look them up. I think Dorman offers them, GM offers them. There's a few different companies, but let's take this thing for a ride. Let's go put some fuel in it. We don't have any gauges, so we don't know if we got oil pressure or how warm it's running or how fast it's going, or how much fuel we got, or any of that. So Duff's ready to go for a ride. Everybody always wants me to put a Duff cam like on him and run around. A, I don't think he'd appreciate it. B, I think he would lose a $450 camera. But it is Easter, so let's see if we can get some bunny ears on him. Duff, you want to play dress up? Yeah? You want some bunny ears? Duff, you like bunnies. Come here. Sit. Oh boy. Who's a good bunny? Who's a good bunny? Let me get a picture for you for the Instagram. It's not so bad. Hey, no, they're over your eyes. You can't put them over your eyes. Come here. Come here. Wear your Easter ears like a good boy. Like a good Easter bunny. You see, this is how it would go if we tried to put a GoPro on you. You're just the goodest boy, aren't you? You're lucky we don't have a little girl to play dress up with you. Hey, Duff. I guess we're not gonna wear the bunny ears. No pictures for the Instagram. So yeah, if you guys are wondering why we don't put a GoPro to Duff, that is exactly why. He wants no part of it. All right, let's get in the old crew cab and see if she starts up before we get excited about a RIDE, because if I screwed up the gas pedal or we screwed up the tune, it's probably not gonna go for a ride today. Pedal location's good. Like I said, it could be down a little bit, but I'd rather have it too high than too low. Oh, you're coming in? Okay, coming in hot. Hold on, let me turn the key. It requires a thumb. Jiminy Christmas, dog. All right, keys on. I hear some relays going over there. So what it was doing before is it would idle for 90 seconds and then die, or just die randomly. And then driving down the road, I did take it on a little test drive last week and it was kind of surgy. Oh, yeah, we got no gas pedal. I should probably hook up the connector. I'm gonna turn the key off when I do that. You are so helpful today. Come on now, give me a break. Let me plug this in. Okay, see you later. All right, try number 2. Starts good. You don't like those pipes? Yeah, they're a bit loud for me. Let's see what they're like going down the road. So yeah, it seems to be idling okay. Pedal's working, pedal's in a good spot. We gotta put the front bolts in the seat because we gotta put nutserts in there because the conversion company reamed out the 3/8 holes to 7/16, so we either need to put 7/16 bolts in or we need to put nutserts. We're gonna put nutserts because I don't want to ream out these brackets that we got on the bottom of this seat, because then it won't go back into another square body without any modification. And then we can bolt any square body seat back in here with those nutserts. And I really just like nutserts this week. All right, let's do this. We just cleaned this seat off. It's all full of gravel and dog hair. I wonder where that came from. Somebody said you gotta have like 3 psi's of air in your bags, so I don't know why that is, but we'll put a little bit in there just for those people. Ready to go for a ride? Hold up, let's go. Really doing it, Harry. Insert clip of Dumb and Dumber. We gotta do the PVC trick on the doors. Think we can make it to the gas pump? I sure hope so. You got the door clicker? Got it in my pocket. You got your own camera over there, and everybody's on this channel to watch you, and you won't even stand in front of it. It's so muddy already. I'll take mud over snow. Getting the old cowboy Cadillac turned around in a tight parking lot. It's gonna be fun. Seems like the pedal is kind of surgy, like you just barely push it. It goes faster than you want. I wonder if there's any adjustability to that. I don't know much about these drive-by-wires other than the simplicity of running a cable, or running wires versus running a cable. And race car guys would rather run cable. I don't know, better response. And cruise control is muy easy. Steering wheel's upside down, Duff. Imagine that. She definitely barks. Yeah? That why you don't like it? You don't like competition in the whole barking category? And yeah, we got, well, looks like we got an oil pressure gauge. Well, it says 15 PSI, but maybe it was like that with the key off. 15's pretty low for an LS, but I think the fuel gauge would still be working, but it is pegged over full. I don't know. We're gonna put some different gauges in here anyway. All the gauges would work if we played around with the senders, except for the Speedo is gonna be mechanically driven. And there is options for that, but I just want to put some new digital style analog needle looking gauges. They look like the old gauges, but they're digital, and then we can get, we'll have a check engine light that way and fresh odometer. Then we get adjustability for our tire size and our gear ratio and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. I feel a draft. Where's that air coming from? Vent is not open over here. Firewall should be all capped off. The transmission tunnel's all capped off. It drives pretty good, not much for shakes. It's kind of loud in here. Adding carpet makes a big difference on a vehicle, so does headliner. The carpet did show up, but we just don't have time this week, and plus it's going to take more time than usual because we got to remove some glue and carpet around the edges, and then there's those 3/4 inch chunks of plywood in the center here and back there, so I got to take those out because otherwise the carpet's not gonna lay down in there. So we'll have to do that on the next episode, eh, Duffalopagus? Yeah. Got to adjust the steering wheel. All kinds of little stuff that takes all kinds of big stuff time. But yeah. Fuel injection, overdrive 6-liter. We get a radio and some HVAC in this thing, some carpet. This thing's gonna be muy fantastico, Duffo. Oh yeah, we gotta get a windshield too, because it is a giant spider web right in my noggin, in my line of sight. That's not good for business. Alright, let's put some gas lead in and be on our way. Door still didn't get shut. Oh, it's the back one, never mind. Alright, we got 3.65 gallons at $11.60, so it must have been pretty full. We need seatbelts too. Shh. We have the hard half. We just need to poke them through the floor. I think the OEM square body ones will work. I hope so, because I don't have the OBS ones. Got a little dip coming out of the old parking lot here. See if we can't high center for the first time. Listen for strange running board noises. I think we're good. See, driving a low vehicle takes a little bit of care, but a long and low one is a whole different ballgame. She's peppy. I wonder what it's got. 410s, 373s. What's that tinny rattling noise, Duff? When you get on her. Almost sounds like glass packs. And you can add that to the list of Kraegers and side pipes and red spark plug wires of things I don't want. Is glass packs. Giant puddle in the middle of the street. We're gonna try to dodge it with oncoming traffic. What is a clunkety clunk 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 there? I don't know, but we don't need it. Everything's closed today because it's Easter, so who's gonna come save us if we have issues, Duff? Good question. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Oh man, is that a Chevy Beretta? Be a Z24. Nope, it's just a plain Jane. Might be a GT model, but I don't think so. Not many Berettas run around the countryside. Oh, this tint has to go too, and we need a mirror on our windshield when we get that installed. Tack or something would be nice to get our speed. Guess we'll pull out the GPS on the phone. Man, it's a little bit of wind noise, but she's pretty quiet going down the road, surprisingly. Not having that center rear view mirror really messes with me. Because Duff's in the middle of one side mirror, and the other one I can't hardly see through this terrible bubble purple tint. Everybody's got the gems out on Easter. What is this? A third gen Camaro? Be an IROC. Be an IROC. Oh, I think it was. It had the gold rims. Son of a gun really barks when you get on her. My uncle always said that the longer the pipes, the louder they are. He said somebody came in with like a 24-foot box truck one time. And they had straight pipes running out the back of a 24-foot box truck, so, you know, 30 feet of pipe. And he said that was like the loudest thing he ever heard. It just barked. That 65 cruises pretty good. Lowered vehicles, everybody gives them a bad reputation for riding rough. Well, if you're using a stock rate spring in the front and the rear, we definitely are in the rear. We even took some out, so it should ride smoother. And what's that though? Oh, the skunks are out. It's skunk season. It's warming up and they're coming out of their hibernation or whatever it is they do in the winter. Somebody got one on the road back there. But if you use the stock spring rate front and rear, you're going to maybe get some less travel, obviously, depending on how much of a notch or where your bump stops are, but it's going to ride exactly the same if you use the same spring rate. And a long box crew cab like this is going to be about the best riding square body you're going to get because of the long wheelbase, where you're not going to be short wheelbase, four-wheel drive, where you're going to be just hopping down the road because your front wheel or your rear wheels are immediately hitting the same bump that your rear wheel or front wheels did. But you know what I'm saying? You know, you're just going to be hopping down the road because long wheelbase rides better. I guess I got no complaints about this thing. This is not the smoothest road in the county. It's pretty tolerable. I do like the seat. The pedal position is good. A little bit of wind noise from the wing window. Super common in these things. And we know we got to put some seals in this thing. They're all 38 years old and dried out. Story of my life. But yeah. 65, 70, she's cruising good. It was well worth the effort. What you think, Duff? enjoying the fruits of our labors. Finally going for an RID. Oh, this thing's gonna be so good. Once we get all the stuff done to it that I want to do, it shouldn't take a ton of fabrication because there's the aftermarket support for these square bodies is absolutely insane. Like, I could have bought a factory seat and put in here, but it all depends on how much money you want to spend and how much work you want to do. This thing with whatever summer, spring, whatever upon us, I didn't want to get too deep into it. There again, buying somebody's failed project, or I don't know if you want to call it a failed project, but buying somebody else's project where they did all the hard work and they started with a super dry shell like this thing, you can't go wrong, you know. Let that person take the loss. This is not a money-making hobby. I mean, don't get me wrong, I flipped a lot of cars and I've done all right, but if you pay yourself anything for your time, you're not making any money doing this stuff. But if you let the guy before you take a big hit to their wallet, you're money ahead, if that makes any sense. So I'm sure if we got a hold of Dustin, the previous owner, and picked his brain and scanned all his receipts, he probably had significantly more money into this, and he had a lot of time into, you know, getting that engine in there and figuring out the drive line and figuring out the wire harness and laying that all out in there, and he had a battery in it, and so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong, we got some time, but you know, budget-wise, we're still doing all right. But like I said, this is not a money-making industry or hobby or whatever. I do it because I enjoy it, and because, you know, anybody can go buy a brand new pickup and drive around. It's kind of cool to pull up in a 38-year-old pickup with a late model drivetrain and, you know, get some different looks. I like being different just a little bit. Of course, you guys can tell that not exactly mainstream here, you know. Bearded guy who talks to his dog and enjoys maybe a few too many sandwiches. Now the question is, how long is that used 4L80 going to hold up to my right foot and pulling a trailer? Foreshadowing? I hope not. All right, we got about 10 miles on. I got no gauges, so I don't know if we're pushing heat, if we got oil pressure or what, but I haven't heard any strange noises. Like I said, really wind noise, and I got a cold breeze coming. Oh, I bet it's coming through the firewall in the big hole in the HVAC, and it's coming out the vents on the bottom of the HVAC. Durr. Uh-oh, got the old Mountain Max stud a bit. We didn't check any of the brake lights or blinkers, headlights. We got not that long before it's dark out, so we should probably pull over and check that stuff or head home. One or the other. When is sunset today, Duff? Out rollerblading. Springtime is here. Well, judging by the sun thing, we got 6 fingers. That's an hour and a half. 15 minutes per finger. We should be able to make it to Chins and back in that amount of time. It's only a half hour each way. Are going to get me in trouble for sure. You can just hear all the gravel the tires are picking up from the State Department graveling, sanding, whatever you want to call it, the road all winter long. I'm sure there's a little bit of salt in there too. Imagine that. Highway 11 is probably the roughest state highway in the county. And it's completely tolerable, Duff said. So I think the old cowboy Cadillac's doing alright. We got about 5 pounds in the airbags. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I'm thinking that it's not gonna make a difference until we got the load back there, but haven't been hitting the bump stops, haven't heard a bunch of clanging, a bunch of strange noises, so I think we're alright there. Definitely bottomed out there. Bump up the bags a bit. Don't get an armrest. That's a pain. Speaking of 24-foot box trucks, there's one sitting right there. You go see what's got straight pipe stuff. Cadillac Duff, huh? Pretty good. We got, shoot, just about 40 miles on. Little jog here. A lot of little things I've noticed, but no major issues yet. Knock on wood. Little fine tuning. This thing should be sweet. Is that what we're calling this thing? The Cowboy Cadillac? Already got a white lightning. I feel like we called something Casper, but I can't. Oh yeah, Casper, that's what we call the short bit. Regular cab like this thing. We got a fleet of white pickups around. Bernie. White Ryan. Yeah. I got a thing for white. Kind of like the Cowboy Cadillac, even though we're not cowboys. We're not big Cadillac fans, but then we'll get the Escalade 6-liter engine covers, all the Cadillac engine covers. Put some cowboy hat in the back window. It says Cowboy Cadillac. Maybe get some pinstriping down the tailgate. How about that, Duff? Pretty comment down below what you think we're gonna call this thing. If you're voting for Cowboy Cadillac or you got something better. I hope you got something better. Yeah, we could do better. All right, where does the Chin live? We gotta find his house. Drop the SD cards out so we can get her all edited up for us. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. We did a little fabrication this week. We got the square body. Got to go for our first real test drive. We got a few bugs to work out. Hopefully we get some miles on this thing this summer. Hopefully towing a trailer. Go check out the merch down in the link below. You can get super scrapers at mortske.com and also see the vehicles we have for sale. You can check us out, Mortske Repair, on the Facebook. You can see the cars we got for sale and what we got going on there. You can follow us on Instagram. We're on Patreon. All that good stuff. This thing isn't for sale yet. If you gotta ask us a question and you can't do it through any of those sites, send us an email, mortskerepair@gmail.com. Send us an email. Guess when you think the old Grape Concorde is gonna hit the ground from Mount Mortske. Send us an email at sunnyhillauto@gmail.com. And in the subject line, guess the date. But I think that's where we're gonna wrap this thing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as Duff and I enjoyed our little test drive. And remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, so long as you're having fun. Test drives like that, they're funny enough. Yeah. We don't like walking home. It's been a while. All right, wrap her up. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today, the Duff Dog and I are working on our 1985 Chevrolet Dually LS swapped amazingness crew cab slammed on the ground, offends several people project again. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today, the Duff Dog and I are back on this 1985 Chevrolet Dually square body pickup that we picked up that's LS swapped. Too many pickups in there. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today, the Duff Dog and I are back on this 1985 Chevrolet Dually that had been previously LS swapped, and we're gonna get her a little bit closer to back on the road. How many comments you suppose we're gonna get on that pickup sitting off to the side, eh? There's gonna be a couple. Take my sweatshirt off. I got the roughing the Duff. Roughing the Duff. Duff, we should just name this channel Moving the Camera. Oh, the joys of being a YouTuber, trying to get cameras to stick to the windshield. You know, one would think it's just so easy to turn a camera on and turn wrenches and get a dog to do the things you want and a crappy old car to do the things you want. It's not that easy. It's like herding cats or negotiating with a toddler.